Hey guys, August 9th, 2020, Wages World coming at you with a video. This is Creepin' Jesus. He says, hi from sunny Scotland. Hi back at you, buddy. I'm assuming it probably rains there a lot. I just wanted to give you a shout out because I don't get to do that very often to my international subscribers. I do appreciate all you guys. So, yeah. So I just wanted to give you a shout out there, man. Thanks for dropping a comment and sticking around. Hope I'm able to help you guys, because most of the stuff that I talk about here is a global effect. It isn't so much regional a lot of times. There's a few things that are regional, but most of the stuff I talk about here is global. So I hope you get something out of my channel. That's my goal anyway. So shout out to you, man. This is Micah, and he says, hey, Blue Kool-Aid, what class flare would cause problems for us pretty much, and would the government give us any warning if it could even happen? Well, you answered your own question, Micah, a little bit there, man. I kind of touched on it in my last video, but a flare, when it leaves the sun, it takes it 8 minutes to get here, roughly. We have no time to react. Okay, and that's kind of what my point was yesterday a little bit, because, yeah, I mean, unless you're already prepared for something like that, it ain't going to do you no good to even know it's coming. Because it's here and gone in 8 minutes, the initial energy. Now, what I will say is, the majority of the time when we get bigger flares and stuff, there's a CME with it. And what that means is the flare comes and the CME, the energy from the CME, which is plasma charged particles, it'll get here in like 3 to 4 days. So you can kind of prepare for that. But if it's a huge flare, it ain't going to matter. Once the power's out and our technology's gone, it's gone. And if we lose our technology, guys, they predict 90% of the population would be gone within like a year, I think. Year or two. We just don't know how to live without it. So that's what I would say to that. And I will say this too, like an X-class flare that would hit us now would be so much drastically stronger than it was 10 years ago because our magnetic field is weaker. And our magnetic field is weaker is another sign of a magnetic pole reverse. Okay? And that is happening. Magnetic north and south are both moving. And they're moving faster than what they expected them to the tune that they had to go back a year early and physically find magnetic north. They have to do that every once in a while to recalibrate navigation tools and stuff. Okay? And what was happening was, planes and stuff were having a hard time navigating to the tune of being off when they're trying to get on a runway. So when they're trying to land and stuff. So they had to do that. And, I suspect that that's just going to get worse until it does eventually just flip. And, there's a whole lot of theories about what happens when that goes on. I'm not even going to talk about that right now. It's a huge subject. So, yeah, hope it helped you out there, Micah. All right, guys. This is some of that data that showed back up on seeds. And this is Scott applied his technique. And look at that. I'm not even going to comment on what this actually is and what it can do and what we're looking at because it speaks for itself. There's really not a whole lot more we can even talk about on this because it's that, and you can look at it for yourself and you can make up your own mind. But yeah, look at that. Okay. It's just wow. I mean, the more and more I see of these things, and look at that. He showed me this yesterday. I think he even put it in one of his videos yesterday. Man. I just don't even know what to say on that right there. That is just so crazy. So yeah, I mean, again, it speaks for itself. So yeah, so I'm going to take you guys over and show you another look here about what's going on with this object we seen yesterday that I showed you guys. Okay, first I'm going to show you this. This is over at Seeds, and this is today, like right now. And if you notice, you guys can see it flashing over there on the black and white version there. But what I want to point out is, if you guys look, you're seeing little jets pop off too, all around this occulter. It makes me wonder if we didn't have something happen, as far as like a small CME or something. I went over and looked at Stereo A, and it looks like we might have something, but it's really hard to see right now. So with that being said, we're going to just have to wait on more data because I'm not even going to comment on something I can't see it. You know what I mean? But just know that what we're seeing there is is a lot of the times a precursor to other data that comes in that does show something going on. Okay, guys, this is a good thing. What just happened here. Okay, this is stereo A. Now remember, the Earth is here and stereo A is over here. So our view from this particular satellite is the side of the sun. Now, what I want to point out is if you look over here, you see that right there? And if you guys look real close, and I know this is very, very highly pixelated. That's why I hate this thing when it comes to this kind of stuff. You can see it kind of hazing out and kind of moving around, so it is kind of indicative of maybe something going on right there. And if it is going on right there and it's going this way, it'd be coming at us. But the occulter was blocking it over at Soho. But then I look at this, the backside. You guys see this thing kind of waving around right here, kind of haze moving. Okay. A lot of times when we're looking at, here, let me do this real quick. We'll go back up here to Soho. And what you're seeing right here, if there was a blast off the backside of the sun, it would look no different than if it was off the front. Because if we're looking dead at it, that occulter is going to block all that. That's why we go look at stereo A from the side. And given the fact that, like I said, we just looked at stereo A from the side here, you can see a little bit of something going on right here. So that might be what we're seeing there. But again, we're going to have to wait on data to come in. So what I want to show you, again, is this is back on the 7th, and I already showed you guys this. Oh, I went to stereo A. But this is interesting too, because you see all this stuff flying around in here? Okay, keep in mind stereo A is millions of miles away from us on the side. Okay, but yet this is catching energy here. Okay, and what that is probably charged particles showing up. Those are two. Yeah, they're there and gone. I've shown those 100 times, and they can be reflections of the inside of the camera. But what I do want to show you is the Soho version, because again, see that? Okay, we'll watch that again. Now, after I posted my video yesterday, a couple other channels, including Scott, posted something about that too. And it does look to be two objects. Okay, whether they're comets or an object or whatever they are, some people were calling them UFOs, others were calling it objects or comets or whatever. It's there. I mean, it's obviously going on right there. Now, what's strange about it is, like I said yesterday, this thing is not curving towards the sun at all. You see that? It's just flying right on by. We don't usually see that, guys. Okay? Usually when it gets that close, it starts diving into the sun. That's why they call it sun divers. So it makes me wonder, especially we've seen no reports of something was supposed to be there. It wasn't a known object. Okay? And we picked it up on this satellite. And that's not even disputed. Everybody agrees with that. So whatever that is, comet, object, UFO, something, it's there. Okay? But I got something interesting I want to show you. Okay, guys, this is a tool that I haven't showed you guys very often. I used to show it a lot when Sechi was operational, but it was actually from the front. This is from stereo A, okay? This particular camera is on stereo A. And that's a side view I just showed you guys, right? There's other cameras on that satellite, so what I want to show you is this right here. So I typed in the information here on this page, and this is what it gives you, okay? And to give you guys a little bit of perspective of what we're seeing here, the sun's here. Okay, again, this is a side view, like I said. And what you're going to see is you're going to see some pretty interesting stuff that goes on in this. This is another black and white version we can go to look at stuff. To be honest with you, I kind of forgot about it. I show it sometimes, but a lot of times I forget about this one. I do think that you know, it is what it is, right? You seeing that? See that? Those are the flares and stuff that were happening. That's on the second right there. But what I want to show you is, I just showed you that object, right? Over there on the other camera. Let me speed this up a little bit, and I'm going to stop it. I'm trying to catch it here. I'm going to catch it real quick, and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. There yet? Not yet. What you're going to see is it's going to come into view right here. Okay. Let's wait for it. Wait for it. There it goes. Okay. See that? That's out of place. Okay. What that is that's that same object I just showed you guys. It's just from a different point of view. And once this time lapse starts moving, it actually turns into two separate objects. So whatever perspective is going on here, that's kind of a false shadow area. There should be like a line in between there because it shows up here in a minute. I'm going to slow this down. Actually, I'm going to back it up a little bit. Let's do this. Stop it there. I'm going to go slower with it, slower with it, slower with it. Stop. Now we're going to go forward. Okay. So we're just going to let this play, and you're going to see it come into view. Here it comes. It's right there. I guess I can zoom in a little bit more. See that? All right. It's not moving like any other objects around there. Okay. So you can definitely see that. So I'm going to back off a little bit and look at this. Okay. It is not going towards the sun at all. It's going past it. So, you know, that's something I didn't expect to see. I don't think anybody else really did either. It's not a known object. So whatever that is, I don't know. Right there at the end, it kind of, and we only get to go up to like the 6th or something like here. That's the bad thing about this tool. It's got like a 3-day lag. So that's what's going on with that. But it's still, you know, valuable to go over here and look at this because we do see certain stuff. All right. Now I know a lot of people are going to kind of, let me show you this real quick. I'm just going to speed it up. A lot of people are going to go over here and they're going to look at what happens over right there. Okay. Watching that circle right there, watch what happens. You're going to get what looks like a very huge circular sphere kind of bouncing around there a little bit. Right about, it's going to happen right there. You see that, guys? You know, and I know that looked like a planet orbiting and stuff. That's all that is it's at the right angle that it's getting a reflection in the camera. Okay. They actually showed us what's going on with that before. You know, I used to think it was something too, but it's not. And also on these things, guys, when any bright object gets to the edge of the view on any of these cameras I show you, a lot of times you'll see like a jet shoot out, like something exploded. And all that is the light. The camera can't interpret it because it's on the edge of the view. Okay? Now, you know, as I look at this one, this is almost looking more of a comet looking thing. Okay? Because watch the tail at the end of it. Let me show you. It's coming. I'll point it out. I'll circle it when it comes out here. All right? It's right in there. It's right there. See the tail kind of flopping in and out there? I'm going to zoom in this time. And yeah, I know this is, yeah. So, you got CMEs happening right there. And then here it comes right about, here we go, right there. See it? But you see how actually it kind of started getting more and more so in front of the sun. Probably what was happening there is the solar wind was probably blowing it. All right, that's why the tail looked like it got bigger right there. But I do think that's the same object that we've seen over there on Soho. But it's most definitely, you know, typically at that point right there, it would dive right into the sun, guys. But this one didn't. So whatever the issue is there, I really don't know. And we also seen some other stuff in here too. I'm going to take you and show it to you real quick. Okay, guys, what you're looking at here is the same view, okay, same camera, but do you guys see that? That's with no filter, nothing at all. That is raw right there. No touch up, nothing, no kind of, putting filters on anything or adjusting brightness or contrast or anything like that. That's without anything. So let me back that up a little bit and look at that. Okay. I don't know what that is, but it most certainly looks like a lot of the things that we've been showing you guys. Also, what's strange about this is it actually had kind of like it was moving really fast like that. So I don't know. It's hard to say anything about that because number one, we haven't really looked at this tool very often, but yeah, so there's that. But here it is zoomed in, and I can probably invert it and show it to you guys, and I might do that later on. But this right here, yeah, I just don't know what else to say about that. So again, it kind of speaks for itself. So you got that, and that was on the 3rd, which right after that happened right there, a CME blew off on the 4th. So, or at the end of the day on the 3rd, I think. But then we get this, okay? And this is on, I think this was on the 4th or something. I can't remember exactly what day this was. But you see that? And again, I didn't do anything to that capture. That's exactly what the tool was showing me. So, and then here's the very next one. So I don't know what's going on with this. If that is anything at all, I just don't know. But it's definitely something we could look at, and kind of research a little bit and figure it out. But that right there, man, yeah, that's pretty spherical, if you ask me. So, sorry about that, guys. I usually put the Schumann at the beginning. Sorry about that. But yeah, again, guys, go over to the birthday Arbusto's Schumann Resonance Harmonics channel. I usually leave a link in the description. He really describes these things really well and tells you what you're actually looking at. And the advantage of doing that on YouTube is you can pause it and rewind and listen to what he's saying over and over and over again if you have to understand it. And that's most definitely, I've had to do that a couple times. Because this thing, I know the basics of this, but I am nowhere near an expert, okay? I do understand what this thing can do to us and what it does and all that kind of thing. But as far as why that line is right there and what could have caused that line, that's another thing. I'm not an expert on that end of it, okay? But again, like I said, I would refer you guys over to Birthday's channel. And again, Higher Realm Holistics, V over there, she does a good job talking about this, and so is Cindy and Mike, and so yeah. But I should have showed you guys that at the beginning. Now, listen, that's not really much out of the ordinary what we're seeing, guys. Again, for whatever reason, it's went quiet. Pretty ambient conditions right now. It's been like that for going on 2 weeks now. We were really, really active. I'm talking like stuff every day. I even did a video on it, 6 or 7 days of a spiker at the exact same time every day. And whatever was causing that. So, but yeah, I should have showed you guys this at the beginning of the video. Sorry about that. Okay, here's the space weather conditions, guys, over at NOAA, Space Weather Prediction Center. And again, what you're looking at there, that big spike right there, is that C-class flare. Now, you can see other little spikes, too. So, that means it's popping and cracking some still, okay? Really small ones. Nothing to write home about at all, but it is doing that. So when they're in front of us, guys, that's when we really got to pay attention, okay? Especially when they start crossing lines and all that kind of thing. And with this one, that sunspot that fired that flare, there were 2 really, really active regions basically on the same latitude line on the sun. So they were kind of training in the same area. But right here, guys, geomagnetic activity, we're pretty much in the basement again. Now, we don't want to be all the way in the basement, guys. You know, if that happens and stays consistent like that for a day or two, more cosmic rays get in. Okay? But here's the sun right now. And, you know, nothing looks too crazy right here. But what I will say, you know, equator, Earth's kind of like right here. And so, yeah. And I do think that sometimes when, you know, these sunspots and stuff, when they cross our interplanetary magnetic field line, when we are connected to the sun, you know, the lines that connect us to the sun, when those more active areas and these sunspots get to that area, you know, I think it has a better chance of, you know, busting a flare right there. In my mind, I don't see how it could be any different, because you're interrupting, kind of interrupting a circuit, or at least adding energy to that circuit. That's just my opinion. And what I'm talking about, guys, you know, you got the sun. I've done this before too, and the Earth, and we're connected, right? Interplanetary magnetic field lines. So it would make sense, say there was a sunspot right there, and when it crossed over that line, you know, it's going to disrupt stuff. So if it's strong enough, in my mind, it could cause flares and CMEs and all that kind of stuff, right? I could be completely wrong there. I don't know. But remember, the charged particles that travel our way, solar wind, they travel on those lines. Okay? That's how they get here. They're charged particles. They basically move like electricity. Okay? It's really similar. And in that aspect, you can talk about water. Water really acts very similar to those kinds of things too. Just like, you know, water is always trying to find the path of least resistance. And that's exactly what we're talking about here too. So, but yeah. So we'll click off of that. Here's the space weather stuff here. Okay. Now look, here in the next day, they're talking about a plasma density spike. Okay. That's what they're trying to say here. And we're going to watch it. And it could have been from a coronal hole or whatever, but it most certainly does. And you can see how the conditions at stereo A are going to get active too, and stereo B. But who cares about stereo B, because it's right there, and we don't get to see any data from it anymore. The punks took it from us. But anyway, that is what it is. All right, guys, this is a geoelectric field model. And I probably could have just not shown you guys this one, because it's doing absolutely nothing. This is what it was like for weeks on weeks. And then all of a sudden we started getting some solar weather, and this thing started, you know, showing us some stuff. But right now, man, it's dead quiet stuff. We have nothing there going on. Okay? So take that for whatever it's worth. Okay, guys, this is over at spaceweather.com. I thank you guys here a lot. I think they do great work. But here you go. Here's that flare again. Okay, it's pretty much what I showed you guys yesterday. Same exact view, pretty much. They're even using the same angstrom, the 131. And that seems to be like the prime thing to use if you're going to go look for a solar flare. It looks like it shows up better on that angstrom. So yeah. Okay, guys. I am going to end the video there. I'll try to come back with you, tomorrow. See if I can't give you a video. But again, guys, it does look like maybe something's going on right here. And I can't say for sure until I get more data in. Alright? We are getting a little bit of wavy fluctuation looks going on both sides. So, it's so highly pixelated on stereo A, I just don't have very many options here. But, anyway, that's what's going on there. And, yeah, have a good weekend, guys. I'll try, like I said, I'll try to come back with another video later on. But yeah, and whatever that, here, let's do this real quick. Let me show you that again. Okay, oops. Let's end with this, because I want you guys to understand that did not look normal. Okay, and I was going to wait because, sometimes when we see stuff and we think it's something, sometimes it's just not. And that's what I was kind of waiting on, confirmation of other people kind of seeing that too, and kind of thinking what I was thinking. And it most certainly is something we need to look at, because it was not a known object, or everybody would have known it. It would have been documented somewhere. So with that being said, and I think let's look at the 8th here too, because I did see something. See if it's there or not. Did it flash on that day or not? I can't remember where I seen that one at. Man. Okay, let's go to the. It might have been on the 9th. Let's go here on the 9th. No? Huh. Okay. Anyway, I thought I seen something there, guys, but I didn't. So, anyway, guys, God bless. Yahushua saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.